Good evening, I'm Olivia Quay with a special edition of The Big Story. Now, news just in, the Health Ministry confirmed 6 new coronavirus cases today. Singapore now has a total of 166 infections. 93 patients have been discharged, but 13 people are in the ICU. The ministry also announced that all social activities for seniors organized by government agencies will be suspended for 14 days from Wednesday. This comes amid a growing number of infections linked to a private dinner function at SAFRA Jurong, which was attended by many senior citizens.
Since the outbreak of COVID-19 in our community, government agencies such as People's Association, the Health Promotion Board, as well as Active SG, we have been very mindful and to introduce some of the measures in the implementation of some of our programs. So for example, temperature taking, health advisory, travel advisory has been implemented since the outbreak. Given what has happened at Jurong SAFRA last week, we have also immediately in People's Association suspended singing program that has been attended by those seniors at the dinner, and that will continue to be in effect. In order to reduce the risk of transmission in our community, government, and that because seniors are also a more vulnerable group, but the government agencies, we have decided to suspend for 14 days all senior-centric activities in our community centers, community clubs, residence committees, as well as HBB centers and Active SG centers. I'd like to highlight that care services for these seniors, such as the nursing homes, inpatient and day hospices, senior care center services, as well as home-based services will continue to run as usual.
I'm joined now by multimedia correspondent Haryanto Diman. He's live at the Ministry of Communications and Information. So Jan, seniors, as we all know, are particularly vulnerable amid this outbreak. I understand there are additional measures of social distancing targeted at them. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, hi Olivia. Of course, apart from the suspension of the activities, other measures that have been implemented also include reducing the number of participants for each activity. Now, this is to ensure sufficient space between participants and to prevent overcrowding. There is also adjustments that will be made to the rigor of activities so as to minimize physical contact and exertion. Other than that, also there will be shortened duration of activities. This is to minimize the time of exposure. Apart from that, also there will be an increase in the frequency of sanitizing equipment between users and activities as well, providing enough facilities for regular hand washing. Now, moving forward, the task force also said that it will continue to monitor both local and global situations and implement other appropriate measures accordingly. These measures, they could be short-term or they could even be long-term depending on the situation. Of course, long-term measures would be like the SG Clean Task Force, adjusting new social norms like maintaining personal hygiene, regular hand washing, and avoiding sharing food, or if need be, also use the communal utensils in the instance. Now, importantly, the task force reiterated that whatever the measures are, when they are applied, they should have meaningful impact and can be sustained.
Right. Well, I guess on that note, Health Minister Gan Kim Yong spent some time stressing why all of us need to be socially responsible. Can you elaborate?
Now, social responsibility is important in slowing down the transmission of the virus. Now, many of the locally transmitted cases were the result of socially irresponsible actions of few of these individuals. They still attended events and activities despite being unwell. Now, Minister quoted about 35 of the 160 confirmed cases thus far had not minimized social contact, although they are unwell. Now, more than a fifth of the confirmed cases, in fact, continued to work or carried out daily routines despite being sick. Now, Minister Gan also cited the private dinner function event at SAFRA Jurong cluster as an example. He mentioned that one case was already unwell, attended the function and was subsequently tested positive. Now, this could have resulted in 18 additional cases who were at the dinner and subsequently tested positive as well. Now, 10 of these 18 cases continued with daily activities despite being unwell, resulting in additional 17 cases that were not at the dinner. He also urged that those who are unwell to refrain from doctor hopping. Now, this is because the same doctor can have follow-up with each case and not delay any diagnosis, and of course make appropriate assessment if a case needs to be tested for COVID-19. Again, he reiterated, if unwell, even with mild flu-like symptoms, he advised these patients to just see the doctor and continue to rest at home.
Well, Jan, I just want to throw back to what happened this morning. We know that a Costa Fortuna cruise ship docked in Singapore after being turned away from Malaysia and Thai ports. Did the multi-ministry task force say anything about considerations in allowing cruise ships to dock in Singapore?
Now, Minister Lawrence Wong actually clarified this cruise situation earlier in the press briefing. Now, he mentioned that the situation for this cruise ship is a little different in that passengers were already in Singapore. Now, they embarked on a cruise from Singapore with the intention of returning here. That said, he also emphasized extra precautions have been taken for any travellers with exposure to affected regions to get them checked by a doctor, and they are taken straight to the airport. Now, in fact, he mentioned also that majority will leave Singapore tonight and all will leave in 1 to 2 days' time.
Well, thank you very much, Haryanto. That was multimedia correspondent Haryanto Demand reporting live from the Ministry of Communications and Information. The multi-ministry COVID-19 task force announced that all senior-centric activities conducted by government agencies will be suspended for 14 days from March 11th to the 24th. And the Health Ministry confirmed 6 new coronavirus cases today. You can visit straitstimes.com for developments on the COVID-19 situation in Singapore. I'm Olivia Quay. Thanks for watching and good night.